All right, good morning, everyone. Meteorologist Michael Wilhite here with Southern Indiana Weather, bringing you a quick forecast update for the 9th of January already here. My apologies, folks. I haven't had an update out in a little while. Been fighting the flu this week, and I'm still not feeling completely up to par, but I wanted to bring you up to speed, at least in a 3 or 4 minute video here of what we can expect for Sunday, and then hopefully be able to give you a little bit more details tonight. All right, so here's what we got going on today. It's just going to be a cold day, folks. High pressure settles in for today and tonight. In fact, tonight we're going to go down into probably the mid to lower single digits again. It's going to be a very cold night, so if you have evening plans, just bundle up. Maybe a few flurries around today, but nothing to speak of. Nothing major to speak of there. It's just going to be a cold day with highs pretty consistently where they're at now in the upper teens. Likely a slow fall this afternoon and then single digits tonight. Now, by the time Saturday comes, we'll warm up ever so slightly. High pressure starts to move off to our east. That'll put us in a more favorable position to get more of a wind from the south, which will bring that warm air advection back in, folks. That'll warm us up to the 20s on Saturday, which seems like a heat wave compared to where we've been. And then we'll likely be in the low 30s by Sunday, but we've got a mess moving in, and that's what I really want to focus on in this short video today. By the time Sunday evening comes, take a look at what comes in here. The GFS is wanting to bring this little pink stuff to us, and of course that is the freezing rain type of a setup for us. So again, is this a guarantee that we get freezing rain? Is it not? You know, there's a lot of questions, but we are only a couple of days out at this point. So the storm in question should enter our upper air network today, so that will help us, I believe, answer a lot more of those questions. Hopefully by tonight or early on Saturday morning we'll be able to nail this thing down a little bit more, but I do think an icing concern is very genuine at the time. All right, so basically what we have, it's a low pressure that's developing down to our south, folks, but it's not a very strong low pressure. If it were a strong low pressure, it would just blow right over us, and it would end up being an all rain type of event. We've seen that 100,000 times around here, but because it's pretty weak, it's enough of a warm surge to create warmth in the upper layers of the atmosphere, which will change everything to a liquid precipitation, but not enough of a warmth to warm it up very much down here at the surface. We've already got very much a cold air mass in place right now, and whenever you have a warm air mass coming in, well, what you see is a warm air mass rides over the top of that cold air mass, and well, the upper layers of the atmosphere warm, it changes to a liquid type of precip, but we're still cold here at the surface. That's how you end up with a wintry mix like this of a freezing rain potential. So you can see that it stays pretty strong on the GFS model and then makes us to some light snow showers on the back side of the system. Models are in pretty good agreement that we've got an icy mess to worry about. The parallel GFS, the new upgrade, and it's showing that similar thing. Notice though that it's putting southern Indiana into the rain at some point, and so we're kind of really right here on the dividing line in between the models, but then the GFS parallel here brings it into a snow type of a situation where we could pick up a quick inch or so on the back side of the system. Not sure that I would agree necessarily with that solution. Let me show you the Canadian. The Canadian has been the one that's sniffing out things the best so far in a lot of these snaps lately. And let me just show you this. Here we are by Sunday morning. Here's Sunday afternoon at 1. Freezing rain event down towards the boot heel there of Missouri and into Arkansas. By Sunday night, the precipitation starts to overtake the area. We could be looking at some heavy snow potentially up here in northern Indiana, and then a freezing rain type of an event coming in for us. Probably sleet further north mixing in with freezing rain. And then, as you can see, by the time you go into the overnight hours, it keeps us as a pretty significant freezing rain event. I mean, we never really get to the rain. It just kind of keeps that to the south of us. And then by the time Monday afternoon hits, it changes it to some light snow showers, and we end up with an inch or so, or potentially around there on the back side of the system. So it's something that we're going to have to watch for sure. And then, you know, on some of the other modeling, let me show you this back on the GFS parallel. It wants to develop next Thursday another system that would move in it would give us a pretty heavy snow event, but not anything at all that the Canadian sees. You can see it sees the little wave down here, but then it doesn't develop it into anything and we get nothing. So again, the further you go out into the modelings, the more into la-la land you end up getting. But regardless, the bottom line right now is, folks, we have a potential this weekend for some freezing rain. In fact, the National Weather Service, let me show you this, has already highlighted the bullseye right over our area for the freezing rain event. So it's something that we'll keep an eye on. Temperatures are going to be the absolute most critical thing throughout this. We start off on Sunday afternoon, might go to the mid-30s if we are lucky, and that'd be nice, but by the time we go into the evening hours here, the Canadian model is taking us already below freezing, and if we get down to about 30 degrees and we get a freezing rain event, that could be pretty significant. If you're talking we're at only 32 degrees, then you'll get some freezing rain, but it'll be on trees, it'll be on roads that aren't well traveled, but your main roads will still be fine until you hit about 31, 30 and starting to go below there. That's whenever you get into the big problems. So this has us just cold enough to end up with some significant problems, and then we get into the upper 20s for our low. By the time Monday afternoon hits, well, it only warms us up to about 33 at the most with this. So we'll have to see. Some of the other models like the GFS do take us to closer to 35, so that would be a little bit of a relief. Reality is we just don't know what's going to happen yet. Temperatures are going to be absolutely critical with this. I'm pretty confident that there's going to be a good chance of some wintry mix with this and some freezing rain and sleet involved in there. How much we end up getting is just going to be a matter of what the temperatures are at this point, folks, and that's something that we're going to have to fine-tune. This Arctic air mess that we got in place, folks, Arctic air is cold and dense, and it doesn't like to move out of the way fast. So sometimes the models are a little bit warmer than it actually is. It's possible that the Canadian has the right solution and the GFS is 35, maybe a bit too warm. That's something that we'll see. Hopefully we can track that over the coming days. Either way, if we take a look at your updated forecast, it's going to be downright cold today with a few flurries, mostly clear. Bitterly cold tonight, folks, down into the low single digits, and then for the weekend we only warm into the low 20s. I'm being optimistic and saying 34 for Sunday. That may be shooting a bit too high. We'll have to see and fine-tune that as it gets closer. But again, our temperatures are going to be very marginal at best. And right now, a wintry mix of rain, sleet, and freezing rain looks likely at this point. We'll fine-tune those details and hopefully be able to come up a little bit more with you tomorrow. All right, folks, that's it for this quick video update. I'm meteorologist Michael Wilhite with Southern Indiana Weather. Thanks for logging on here, folks. Be sure to subscribe to us on YouTube for the latest videos. Just go to our YouTube page at youtube.com/WilhiteWX. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.